So how does a company go from just being a fast-growing brand to an absolute powerhouse in the energy drink space in just 1 quarter? Well, Celsius did it, and they did it with a series of incredibly smart moves that have basically redrawn the map of the entire market. We're going to dig into exactly how they pulled off this power play.
You know, you hear CEOs talk up their companies all the time, but when John Fieldly, the CEO of Celsius, calls a quarter a pivotal period in a transformational year, that's different. That's a signal that something really fundamental has shifted. This wasn't just about good sales numbers, this was a complete strategic reset for the company.
So that's the big question, right? What did they actually do? How do you pull off such a massive change in just 3 short months? Well, the answer is in a few deliberate, incredibly powerful, and perfectly timed strategic moves. Let's break it down. All right, so their mission was simple: build a new kind of energy powerhouse. And to get there, they didn't just wing it. They built their entire quarter around a super clear 3-pillar strategy that was designed for one thing: dominance.
And here they are, the 3 pillars that literally changed everything. First, they went all in on their partnership with PepsiCo. Second, they bought the iconic Rockstar brand. And third, they brought the super popular Alani Nu fully into the fold. Look, any one of these moves is a huge deal on its own. To do all 3 at once, that's a straight-up earthquake in the industry.
Now, this new title, U.S. Strategic Energy Drink Captain, it might sound like corporate jargon, but it is the absolute key to this whole thing. What it means is that Celsius isn't just another product in PepsiCo's giant truck anymore. No, they're now helping to steer the ship. They get a real say in how the entire energy drink aisle is set up in stores, which gives them a massive advantage in what you see and what you choose to buy.
And that's the takeaway here. This whole strategy wasn't just about getting bigger, it was about getting control. You combine PepsiCo's unmatched distribution with Rockstar's huge scale and Alani Nu's incredible growth, and suddenly Celsius has the power to call its own shots and compete from a real position of strength.
Okay, so that was the playbook. A brilliant strategy on paper. But the real question is, did it actually work? Well, the numbers don't lie. Let's take a look at how this power play is already translating into some serious market dominance.
First up, market share. With this new powerhouse portfolio, Celsius Holdings now controls over 20% of the entire U.S. energy drink market. To give you some perspective, just a couple years ago they were celebrating hitting a 10% share with the Celsius brand by itself. They have literally doubled their entire footprint.
And this chart really tells the story of their momentum. I mean, the whole energy drink category is doing great, growing at about 16%. That's solid. But the Celsius portfolio, it's growing at 31%. It's growing almost twice as fast as the market it's in. They're not just riding the wave, they are the wave.
And all that growth, it translates into some just staggering numbers. We're talking more than $5 billion in U.S. retail sales over the last year alone. That puts them in some seriously elite company. That's top-tier performance for any beverage company, period.
And this isn't just happening on a spreadsheet. You can see it where you shop. They're grabbing more share at Walmart, getting those prime new displays at Target, and winning the end caps. That's the best real estate in the store at places like Walgreens and CVS. You combine that kind of placement with a killer product like Alani Nu's Witch's Brew flavor, which went viral, and you get a perfect storm, and the brand's best sales week ever.
Now, numbers like that don't just happen by accident. They're the direct result of a really sophisticated portfolio strategy. It's all about having the right brand for every single type of consumer. Let's look at how this works.
This table lays it out so clearly. You've got your core Celsius brand, right? That's all about fitness, performance, that active lifestyle. Then you have Alani Nu, which has done an incredible job connecting with the female-focused lifestyle energy market. And now you add Rockstar, a brand that's all about culture, music, and the next generation. See? Every brand has its own distinct lane. They're not stepping on each other's toes.
And that right there is the whole game plan in a nutshell. It's not about creating one drink that tries to be everything to everybody. It's about building a portfolio where all the brands work together to reach pretty much any consumer for any occasion you can think of, from a pre-workout boost in the morning to a late-night concert.
Another huge piece of this puzzle is flavor innovation, especially these limited time offers or LTOs. We already talked about Witch's Brew and how it drove record sales. Well, this is a portfolio-wide strategy. These limited-run seasonal flavors create this amazing buzz and a sense of urgency. You feel like you have to try it before it's gone, and that gets people buying. So, with the US strategy absolutely firing on all cylinders, Celsius is already looking to its next big challenge, the rest of the world. Let's see how they're laying the groundwork for their global expansion.
You can really think about their approach as a tale of two different strategies happening at the same time. Here in the US, it's all about operating at massive scale and flexing that market muscle. But internationally, it's a different game. Right now, the focus is on patiently building the foundation, one market at a time, to set them up for future success.
And we're already seeing the first signs of that strategy working. Australia has been a huge success story, just blowing past expectations. In the UK, they've learned some valuable lessons they're already using to build a stronger plan for next year. And maybe most importantly, they've hired a new president of international to really drive this global push. They're serious about this.
And you know, their plan for Rockstar is actually really smart. Instead of just chasing fast growth, they're playing the long game. The first goal is to stabilize the brand. And then they want to focus on recapturing that authentic, rebellious energy, that bit of magic that made Rockstar an icon to begin with.
And I think that brings us full circle, right back to the CEO's own words. He said the company has entered a new era, one defined by three things: scale, partnership, and purposeful growth. I mean, that perfectly sums up this entire transformation we've been talking about, from a single, fast-growing brand into a true strategic powerhouse.
Which really just leaves us with one fascinating question. Celsius has built a portfolio, they've locked down their dominance in the US, and now they're planning their global takeover. With all of these pieces falling into place, the question isn't really if they're a major player anymore. The real question is, can they become the undisputed leader that defines the entire future of this category?